Ladies and gentlemen, it is the match reaction of Ipswich versus Leicester. I've had to do it again because the whole footage has been absolutely corrupted. And I think it might play a massive factor into just, oh yeah, there's going to be different things. That's why there's a clothes change. I'm going to say this. I have two massive questions for the referee association, whatever it's called, and the fans of Ipswich versus Leicester. I need to be answered this by people in the comment section. I want to know this from the referee. How have you physically disrupted an entire game of football and made it about yourself? The absolute... It was corruption. That should be the headline. Ipswich should have had 2 or 3 penalties given to them that they were not given. And the fact that the referee had about 8 stewards carrying them out of the stand, that shows to me that you've done something wrong, especially when about 20 players were coming up to you, yelling in your face, and you had to be separated by the stewards. It's not on, is it? That's corruption, and you know you have fucked up when you're probably sat there and you haven't left until later that night, until 10 o'clock that night when it's fully dark and no one can see your face. From a standpoint of that, me talking about the referee, I think Ipswich were robbed 3 points. I think they were. I think Leicester's goal weren't actually meant to be a goal. It was never a free kick that led to the goal, and I think the 2 winning penalties, there should have been 2 penalties. At least guaranteed 1. 2 were completely, 50-50. But I think the second one, especially on Azon, was a penalty. I think it was. There were 2 penalties that just needed to be given. Leicester can come out of that game happy. Ipswich, you need to have a look at yourselves. But if we're going to go on with that, I want to say this real quick. If Leicester go on a run, I think that they can look back at that game and say the ref has kept us up. Because that is what I think has just happened. If they go on a massive run, they are getting kept up because of the referee. As that's all I have to say, right? I don't want to say anything more. I don't want to give the referee any more. A lot of people were angry about it. I saw Kieran McKenna got a bit angry about it. But Sky Sports, there were some comments before when I put a comment on saying I love how they didn't show a lot of the fouls that the ref has missed and another penalty shout. I love how they ignored that because the ref got it wrong by the looks of it. People were mistaking me as an Ipswich fan. That's not the biggest problem I have. Thank you. But I'll graciously decline and not be an Ipswich fan. What I will say is there was a Coventry fan that said, cry in your tissue, the ref was good. I said, first of all, why are you watching Ipswich highlights? You must have nothing better to do, Carol. I'll put the, you know what, yeah, Editor Sam, put the screenshot up. And I want this person to know, I don't disagree with what they're saying, but I'm not an Ipswich fan. I'm not crying about it. I'm just telling you about the officiating, because I guarantee you this. That fan would sit there and moan for 20 years. If this happened to Coventry, they would be doing the exact same thing a lot of Ipswich are doing tonight. It's subjective. And I get it because you're first. And Ipswich were promotion playoff. No, they were promotion favourites at the very start of the season. I get that. And you're loving that you are beating Ipswich. But I want to say this. Coventry have lost twice to Ipswich. I think it was 3-0 and 2-0. It might have been 3-0 both ways. You're not that good, Coventry. You're not that good. Also, Lampard has nearly got Chelsea relegated. So, hope that don't happen to you next season, though. But it's all right. It's all right. Don't worry about it. You won't get relegated next season, will you? You're the mighty Coventry. Yeah, anyway. Another person said that the referee wasn't bad and that it was the linesman and that he allowed Leicester to be physical. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I've actually sat and pondered on it for a whole night, knowing that the footage is corrupted, and I thought, he's talking a load of shit. And apparently, as a person who watched the game, he's going, oh, yeah, well, I think the referee allowed them to be physical. What? 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 He allowed them to be physical, yes, but he physically bodied them in the fucking penalty area. If you get wrestled off the ball and the ball is in front of you, that's a goal scoring opportunity. So it has to be a penalty, and it has to be a card dished out. Number 5 for Leicester. I'm not going to name you because you don't deserve to be named on the SB Bird channel. Me and you are done. And also, you're fucking useless. That's why you're getting relegated. You're not in the 2016 team. You're not in the 2016 Leicester team that won. You're not that guy. Stop doing anything, yeah? You're not that good. I want to say that guy, I think he had a very terrible take. I think it's rage bait. I think they were trying to rage bait me. But, look, I think, overall, I'm going to talk about both teams. I think overall for 50 minutes, Leicester were the better team. Second, Walaghelli scored. Leicester didn't know what they were doing. But I'm now going to ask this. From an Ipswich point of view, if I was a fan of Ipswich and I came out of that game, the ref has been on our arse. But the comments to the two people that actually were telling me stuff actually raised a good point. The fact that we're relying on a penalty to win us the game is the problem. I actually agree with it, and that's what I'm going to now question. Ipswich fans first, how do you feel about the game? I looked at that, and again, that's about the 7th game I've seen where Ipswich, for the majority of the game until they were down, were pedestrian. If I looked at Leicester City, I'm thinking they played the game plan right. They wanted the goal. When they got the goal, they were going to sit back. They knew coming to Portman Road is going to be a big test, especially when Ipswich are unbeaten in 12. They're going to have that momentum. I know it gets cancelled out by them winning 4, by them having like an unbeaten streak, Leicester. It's 4-3 before the game, now it's 4-4. But I want to say, Ipswich, yeah, it's a must-win game for both teams. If Ipswich win, they go ahead by goal difference. That game in hand makes them go ahead by goal difference if they were to win. If Leicester win, they go out of relegation. I don't understand. It's a game what you must win, and no team wanted to seize it. Like, no one wanted to seize it. The game had the same pace as my nan walking from school and back. You know what I mean? There was no pace in the game until Leicester scored. And if I'll tell you this, before Leicester scored, if they learned to shoot, they would have won 4-0. And Portman Road would have been in utter shambles. Because if Leicester learned to shoot, they would have lost 4-0. Ipswich, I mean. Ipswich got battered for the first half. And a goal, yes, it was by the referee, but in my opinion, a goal was worth it. The goal was completely fair. And the fact that a lot of fans, they got angry and they said, fair enough, they've deserved it. It shows it. It shows the mentality. You can get a chance to go second in the league. There's about like 10 games left. Yeah, I know you're probably going to, you might get it. But as well, McKenna must have saw the Millwall v Hull game. Millwall won. And they're above Ipswich. And this is the thing that I don't understand. I've seen from so many like social media people out there. Oh, Ipswich have lost. It's not that bad. It's a tough game away. It was like that for Sheffield. 3-1 at Sheffield's ground. I don't know the guy's name. I think it's Byford. And he's going, it's a tough game. I think that's a fair result. It's a tough game away. I don't think we're going to win that. You should win it. This is the thing. You guys don't have a mentality of going into the Premier League if you're telling me that it's completely fair. that you're losing away to Sheffield. Sheffield were bottom at one point. They were bottom. Like, if I'm a fan, I'm livid because you were promotion favourites, and you're sat there allowing to go, oh yeah, no, this is completely fair. This is a completely fair performance. It's not even that one. You know, you've lost a lot of games and said, yeah, but it is pretty tough. It might be tough, but you are one of the best teams in the Championship. You should be winning games. You should. I don't care about form. You're one of the best teams. If that team has good form, fair. But it's Sheffield, lads. Sheffield, not Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United. And they've not done good that season. They were bottom 5. They didn't win a game for like most of the season up until October, I swear. But I may have complete and utter zero ball knowledge. But I looked at that game, and people have to process this. Stop blaming the referee for a minute and think. Ipswich were pedestrian for 45 to 50 minutes, and you allowed Leicester to play. Because I can only name you 3 shots in the first half, and one was your clear-cut chance that weren't a clear-cut chance. Mehmeti could have done better, but your other 2 shots that I remember from the half were outside of the box. Matasiwa and O'Shea. You're at home. Leicester have more pressure than you, Ipswich. Ipswich had less pressure. It's a game where they can go out, and this is the thing, Leicester couldn't string 5 passes together. But I don't understand the mentality. You've gone out there and played pedestrian, sideways, backwards, and the fans were getting pissed at it. They were getting absolutely angry and livid that you cannot attempt to attack the ball. It's not going to work in the Premier League. It didn't work. It didn't work. You know, there's been games where it hasn't worked at all. Birmingham, was it Charlton where you lost 3-0? There's probably others out there. But I'm not an Ipswich fan. I'm just saying, Ipswich fans need to stop thinking they are great, because they're not great. One win, they say Jack Clark. There's this mate of mine, I think he's rage baiting, but every time Ipswich wins, he goes, Jacob Greaves is better than De Ligt. There's a reason that Ipswich got relegated last year with Jacob Greaves in the squad. It was obviously Muric, I think, for most of it. It was mistakes and a bit of refereeing. But you need to get it in your mind that system will not work. McKenna needs to have it implanted like the hypodermic needle. He needs that in his mind syringed, saying that it won't work. It won't work. It hasn't worked, so it's not going to work again, is it? I could be completely wrong. I could be. But I'm going to say, midfield, for the first 60 minutes, swamped. Didn't know what they were doing. They were absolutely swamped. Couldn't string passes together. Allowed Leicester to attack. Kipre, he kind of made up for it, actually. But he again looked swamped. You know, the attack looked out of it for most of it. Jack Clark came on, and I think I only saw him for a bit of it. And it was a bit better. But you can't rely on one player to make games better. I know sometimes you can, but you kept feeding him the ball and expecting him to do things. And it didn't work. It came from a scrappy goal. Ipswich's goal came from a scrappy corner. Or was it a scrappy free kick? Corner. And Bologhelli scored. Now, that was a good goal. But I want to say, Leicester fans, question for Leicester. Are you also happy with that performance? Do you think you played the game plan right? Would there be anything you would have done better? Is it something you expected? In my opinion, I feel like you should have gone for the game as well. I mean, you were 1-0 up. Yes, but when it's 1-1, stop wasting time. You can go out and get a winner. But I just didn't understand the mentality of both teams. They sat there and didn't want to play. They didn't want to win. Neither team wanted to win. I think if the Patson Daka goal doesn't happen, it would be a 0-0. Because I don't see an opportunity where Ipswich would attack that much and try and win. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. But that's my match reaction. I could be completely wrong. Discuss in the comments what you think. I am a neutral. I enjoyed the game. I think overall, the crowd was brilliant, by the way. Got behind Ipswich. Was very, very, very angry at the referee. I loved it. It was a brilliant atmosphere to enjoy, and I quite liked it. So I would give it a 9 out of 10 on the actual stadium experience. The gameplay, look, lads, the gameplay though, I'm gonna be so real. I could be completely wrong. It's another game where I think Ipswich have been really boring. But you got to do what you got to do. So, anyway, thank you all for watching. I want to say congratulations to Matthew Maffalon for his half marathon at the Colchester. It was at Colchester. I did say Colchester, didn't I? I want to say congratulations, Matthew. I want to say also thank you to him and his mother for allowing me to come out and watch the game with him. I want to say congratulations to Connor as well for his 8K at Nottingham. Yes. During the day. So I want to say congratulations to both of them. If you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. I am at 100 subs now. So 100 sub special will be coming out soon. Don't you lot worry. But I will see you lot all later. It's been real. Peace.